Dominik, welcome to Odessa. What do you think about this city?
Welcome to Odessa, Mama. What a great town. I am coming from Kyiv, and Kyiv is
Czech Republic.
Of course, I'm coming from Czech Republic up to Odessa, and it's a beautiful city. I'm surprised. It's a little bit different, with ocean and port behind us. A little bit cold today, but like I say, it's a great city with a great history. So I'm glad. It's the first time for me to be in Odessa.
How did you get there? What is the main mission of your trip?
Je to třetí raz. Dla mě v posledních 2 gadách they doing how they fight against the Russia. You know, this is the war for their freedoms. I used to be a hockey player. I play hockey for 40 years of my life, since age of 6 up till age of 46. And anytime I'm in Ukraine, I'd like to meet with the hockey players. I like to meet with the people around hockey. And first of all, I want to meet with young children hockey players, because I want to help Ukraine hockey. I understand during this terrible war there is problems with the hockey, but I want them to fight. I want them to continue to play hockey, and especially children. You know, children is our future. Ukraine. So this is my reason why I am today in Odessa. I want to see the hockey game, but also want to meet with the children.
As I know, you also invited to Odessa by the hockey team Storm Odesa.
Yes, Storm is the commander. Já znaju, budu vidět сегодня встречу. Они играют против Киеву. So I am looking forward to see this game. I played against Ukrainian team many years ago. I know some Ukrainian hockey players. They used to have great hockey players, and I believe they still have very good hockey players. I know, for example, the Kristich, great forward. He played for, I think he played for Washington Capitals and Boston Bruins, and especially I know very well my great friend Alexei Zhytnik. You know, we played together in Buffalo, and what a great defenseman! Not only great defenseman, he is a great personality and great человек, great person and great friend of mine. So anytime I go to Kyiv, I'd like to meet him, and we had a great time in the NHL. So, and you know, hockey, I still like to play hockey. I still go on the ice once a week. I play with friends, and I am having fun. You know, for me, it's gonna be the first time I see the hockey in Odessa.
Until February 24, you didn't talk about Ukraine in your Twitter and various interviews. But after the full-scale war began, your Twitter became like a history of our war. You constantly write here, constantly support us. Why? How did it happen? Why are you so worried about Ukraine?
So since February 22nd or 24th, 2022, I understand what's going on. You know, this is the terrible war. I know who is the aggressor. Aggressor is the Russia, and you're fighting for your life, for your freedom. And not only for your freedom, you're protecting the Europe, you know, and you need lots of support. And I am one of the people who wants to support you. You know, from the day one, I wrote a letter to the NHL. I publicly write and say the things which I believe is important. Nothing changed. Nothing changed since the day one. My approach, the way I look at this war. So anytime I go somewhere, I talk about it. Anytime I have chance to talk to the media, I talk about it. I write it on my Twitter, on the social media. And because I was the, let's say, famous hockey player, and people know me in North America, but also in Europe, of course in Czech Republic and Ukraine. So the people reading what I say, I can promise to you guys, I will continue to do it. I will continue to do it. It's important for myself, and I believe it's important for the future of Europe and Ukraine.
Politicians, directors, actors, many famous people come to Ukraine. But of all the sport legends, you are the only one who came. Do you think others are afraid?
It's hard to explain. It's more difficult for the players or athletes who are active. You know, I am not a member of any team right now, not any sponsors, you know, not any owners, so I am free to say what I feel. But I wish I can see more more hockey players, more soccer players to speak up and be active, especially these like me who retired, who are not active anymore on the field, but they can say much more and come and support, you know. And it's not only about the words. Words are important. What I say, it's important, but it's about action. So, and I understand you need support from the people, but Ukraine needs much more. They need more weapons, they need more support, and this must come from politicians. So my words are also for the politician. I'm criticizing the European politician, you know, they can see it, you can see it on my Twitter, that I'm criticizing all the people who not support you enough.
Play together, yeah?
Yeah, we played from...
Can you remember some stories about?
It was a long time ago. It's impossible to remember everything. We have a good time, we had a bad time, but most of it was a good time.
Yeah, we played together for 7 years.
6, 7 years. Yeah.
6, 7 years. We were in the Stanley Cup finals, Stanley Cup semi-finals. We made
99.
We made it to the playoffs every year, so we had a great time in Buffalo, you know.
Yeah, it's a hockey town. It was a great time, a lot of fun.
I read in some interview you said that Alexei, that you have a very big foot because you are from Chernobyl, yeah?
Legs.
Not big foot, big legs.
Ah, big legs.
Big thighs, yeah.
Food is normal.
Yeah.
11.
Yeah, we were always making fun of Alex, and because he was the best skater on the team, and he said, you know, this is wrong because you are a good skater, you have big legs because you were born by Chernobyl. So it should be illegal, these legs like you have.
We got what we got.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting, yeah, that many years ago you visited Odessa and meet each other.
No, we met. Since we retired, we met a few times, and I've seen
Buffalo.
In Buffalo we met, yes, when they retired my jersey, and we met, of course, 2 years ago in Kyiv, and it's always great to see my teammate, you know. And actually, I show you, I brought him a special picture,
yes.
So it's great, you know.
Great
We were friends on the ice, and we were friends of the ice.
Secure trees in which to spend the night.
Thanks.
For one
Sorry
of the
about window.
most spectacular
Have a cocktail with me.
Oh, thanks.
Your nickname was Dominator. It's a combination of Dominik and Terminator.
Yes, you're right. You're right. It was my nickname. I got this nickname in 1993, 1994. That season I became starting goalie for the Buffalo Sabres, and I thought it was the famous reporter Rick Jeanneret who gave me this nickname, and I like it. I like it, you know. To be Dominator, it means dominate on the ice, and this is something morally meant for me, and the people in Buffalo loved it, and my teammates in Buffalo loved it. So for the rest of my career, I was the Dominator.
It's because you was very strong on the hockey pitch.
I don't think I was very strong, you know. But I was strong in the net, you know. I worked hard in the practice. I worked hard during the game, and I did the best for my teammates, you know. And I was dominating on the ice also. So that's why my nickname was the Dominator.
Thanks.
You played in Russia 1 year in Spartak Moscow.
Yes.
You played with many Russian players in NHL in Russia. What do you think about them, and what is memories about this time in Spartak? It was before the war.
It was, yes. and it was, I spent 1 year in Spartak Moscow. It was 2010, 2011. By the way, it was my last season. Yeah. So I retired as a player of Spartak Moscow. We had a great season. You know, we were not very good start. We were like 13 points behind the player, 11 at least. But we, on the end of the day, we finished 5th. And I like the fans of Spartak Moscow. I had good time over there and great teammates. It was good experience to be there. It helped me to understand better the Russian culture, Russian mentality, and I think I have one of my teammates, forgot his name, but I have one of the Russian teammates I still have on my phone, so I can call him, but we haven't talked for a long time. 2010, 2011, I had no idea what is going to happen. You know, I would never ever believe that 3 years or 4 years later, they will attack Crimea, the Crimea Peninsula,
Donetsk, yeah, Luhansk.
and later Donetsk and I didn't know about Donetsk. These are the things you have to understand. We didn't know in Czech what is going on there. We know a little bit about Crimea Peninsula, but I didn't know exactly. I found out many years later what was exactly doing there. So I had no idea. We didn't believe. I really believe in 2010-11 that Russia maybe one day will become a democratic country. It didn't happen. You know, sometimes you think, but what you think, you find out that you are wrong. And I understand better the Russian people, and I have no any regrets. You know, for me, you know, I signed the contract, and I've done for Spartak Moscow the best. 2014. And then 2022, February, it completely changed my mind about the Russian government, about the Russian leadership.
But did you watch that Putin and Lukashenko sometimes are going on hockey and play it? It's an element of propaganda.
I was twice invited for the party with Putin. Dude, seriously, I didn't go there. But I'll be honest, I didn't go there not because I had no idea. And maybe you don't understand. I didn't go there not because I had something against Putin. I didn't go because I want to spend time with my teammates. We went for, seriously, it was the only, so I could be with Putin, maybe shook his hands in 2011. I had no idea. I had no idea which direction Russian country is heading. I was playing hockey, I was focused on hockey, but and everybody from the organization was surprised, like, damn, Mr. Putin will be there. You don't want to go there? I said, no, I don't want to go there. I want to have beer with my friends, you know, I don't want to go there. And later on, I found out what Putin means for them. And so I was there as a player, and I was behaving as a player. So I said, why I should go for a party with Putin? And that's the way it is, you know, that's the way it is. When you play hockey, you focus on hockey, you don't think about politics.
You have a micro battle with famous Russian hockey player Fetisov, yeah? He said that all who get a weapon to Ukraine is responsible for a war. And you write in X that he's crazy.
I don't know what I wrote, but I know what I will say what is the right thing to say.
You played with him?
I played many times against him, and we were talking a few times. And on the ice, he was a great hockey player, one of the best.
Now he's political.
Now, yes, he's one of the members of the Russian parliament, Russian Duma, part of Duma. He agreed with Russian war against Ukraine. Vyacheslav Fetisov was a great hockey player, but he's responsible for many lost lives, Ukraine lives, but many lost lives of the Russian citizens. So if you blame someone for the lost lives, blame Vyacheslav Fetisov, great hockey player. But Vyacheslav, I hope you hear that, you are responsible for many lost lives of your citizens, of your fellow citizens. You are responsible for it, and you will live for the rest of your life with it. If somebody who's supposed to Putin blames me or criticizes me, I'm happy, because I know Vladimir Putin is, how to say, he's responsible for all these crimes. One day, maybe he died before, maybe he died. he will die or he will go to jail one day. Vyacheslav Fetisov, he's responsible. His responsibility is a little bit smaller than Putin, but his responsibility is big. And
as I know, you have a very interesting stories. You played in an Olympic game final, and Zhytnik played for Russia, and you played for Czech, and you win. And as you say, it was your maybe favorite game in career, yeah? One of the favorites.
of course, I remember 1998. You know, we beat in the quarterfinals. We beat USA. In the semifinals, we beat Canada in the shootouts, and in the finals, we faced the Russian team. And I knew, of course, Alex Zhytnik. You know, at that time in 1998, he played on the other side, and we won. You know, it's at that time. You know, I didn't think about Alex. I thought about the possibility to win the gold medal, and we won. So it was my greatest memory of my hockey career. Of course, the Stanley Cup means a lot for me also, but to win the gold medal for the Olympics, it was fantastic. And Alex, he won silver medal. He won Olympics, by the way, in 1992. So this time it was the time for the Czech Republic. We were the best team in the world.
But it's symbolic that you won in the final Russia. For you now, you support Ukraine, and historically.
It was definitely symbolic, you know. It was definitely symbolic. In the finals, we faced Russian team, and it was so symbolic for us because we remember these 70s and 80s. You know, the Russian army was in our territory, and
Prague,
not in Prague, in different cities, and we sort of hated them. We hated these difficult times.
It's called Prague Spring, yeah?
Prague Spring. It happened in 1968. You know, when a Russian tank came to Prague, they killed about 100 or 200 people. It wasn't war, but they killed many people. And the next 20 years, they stayed on the Czech territory. So it was really symbolic for us when we beat them in the Olympics 1998. And it was not only for us hockey players, but for the people at home. It was very symbolic because there was some hatred towards Russian at that time.
You go to the square in Prague, and when the communists defeat, you champagne, yeah?
Yes, you're right. 1989. It was the year when Berlin Wall fell down, and same thing happened in the Czech Republic. And me and my 3 or 4 teammates, we were driving to Prague and ringing the keys. And this is something you will never ever forget, you know. Like you remember some games in Nagano, like you remember some games from the Stanley Cup finals with Detroit Red Wings. You will never forget the revolution in 1989. We went to the Wenceslas Square with my teammates and ringing the keys like goodbye, communists, goodbye. I want to say I wish you, I желаю, всего хорошего. Всего хорошего в жизни и всего хорошего на льду. Enjoy what you're doing.
Насолоджуйтесь тем, що ви робите.
A já желаю, что вы это делаете каждый день a s srdcem. Good luck to all of you.
Удачі та успіхів.
Після одеського шторма добивання, ось тут потрібно закидати гол! 1-0! І Олексій Радушний, який розташовувався на дальній стійці. Браво! Підок! Гол! Перевага. Це була 5-3. Але зараз і в форматі 5-4. По адресата Кобильник. Пас на п'ятах добивання! Петриш!
You also came to Kyiv to participate in the Sports Diplomacy Forum. But of all the sports stars, you were the only one who was there. How important is the work of the athlete in general, and what is the impact? And what can change if even more sports stars come to us and talk about the importance of ending war?
I was yesterday in Kiev. That was one of main reasons to be in Kiev, was to be at the conference, the forum, and we were talking about, there was Minister of Sport and some other speakers, and I was one of them, and I sort of like offered a plan. I know there was like 500 or 600 Ukrainian athletes who died during this war. It's a terrible number, but it's not only about athletes, it's about everyone. Everyone who lost their life. You know, I feel so bad for their family, especially for their family, for the people who are so close. And I was speaking about 15 minutes at the conference, and what I try to explain is that who has responsibility. And I'm a little bit disappointed. You talk too much. There was so much talking about Russian athletes, and I say, don't talk about Russian athletes. Talk about yourself. Talk about Czech Republic, USA, every country, and talk about every sport federation. Athletes are athletes. They want to do the sport. If they are Russian, if they are US, if they are German, if they are Czechs, this is one thing. Focus on yourself. Focus on every federation and make the plan. Make the plan what to do, how you can stop advertising of war in the sport. So what I want to say, there is federation who still let Russian athletes play. They let them go on the field. For example, it's NHL, hockey NHL in the United States, ATP, tennis ATP, tennis WTA, fencing federation, boxing federation, and some other federation. And
Olympic Games.
Olympic Games also, Paralympics Games, Olympic Games a little bit, not completely, but a little bit.
But
yes, 15 Russian athletes. It's a terrible number. I completely agree with you. But I just want to let you know, can you imagine if there would be 400 Russian athletes with a flag? At least 50 athletes. It was step good direction, but still there should be no athlete in the Olympics, no Russian athlete, of course. And every federation under today's rules should ban every Russian athlete. Every state, I feel responsibility. The Czech Republic should ban every Russian athlete to go there and compete on the territory of the Czech Republic. Same thing should the United States, same thing should do Germany. So this is the one thing, and then prepare the plan how to bring the Russian athletes back. So if Russian athlete can compete, he wants to go to the Czech Republic, he has to sign that he or she condemned the war. If he does it and he lives by that rule, you know, he can go back and compete. It's a question, we can talk about it for an hour or 2 hours, and I can explain you the plan. I have a plan in my head, I have a plan on my paper. I'll be glad to introduce it to the world. But I talk to Minister of Sport, I say, let's bring the plan. It has to do you. It cannot do Dominik Hasek or somebody. No Germany will do for you. No USA, no the Czech Republic. You have to do it. You have to do it. And then we go around the world and introduce that plan. And I believe, I am 100% sure, if this plan see every country, they will agree with it. And it can stop advertisement of Russian war and Russian crime in the sports. And it would save, on the end of the day, it would save many, many lives. So I am ready to introduce, but I need to work with Ukraine authority. I will be very helpful, but it depends on the Ukraine authority. And maybe Minister of Sport is a small guy. Maybe I need to go to Zelensky or the other guys. But believe me, this plan is the right thing to do. And it would, on the end of the day, you know what? It's about saving the lives. It's about something, I believe it saved many, many lives.
We speak today about NHL and the Russians, and last month you had NHL about night of legacy, Russian legacy, yeah?
Yes, that's right, and yes, it was, I think it's a game in Columbus, and I don't know what to say. It's so sad. First of all, it's very sad for me what NHL is doing. You know, NHL is letting Russian players to play. Anytime a Russian player step on the ice, it's a greatest advertisement for the Russian war and for the Russian crimes. And I really believe that NHL has to pay big money to Ukraine. I am not talking, first of all, let me say, I am not talking about millions of dollars. I'm talking about billions of dollars. NHL income is about $6 billion a year for a season. And because of the NHL, the people are dying. And I want to be helpful. I want to be helpful to the NHL. I want to be helpful to Russian players. But the rule needs to be set up so Russian players are not advertising for the imperialist war and for the Russian crimes. To do in Columbus the Russian night,
It's a war.
It's like, give me a break, you know. Are you crazy in Columbus? You support the war, you know, and but you know, not only Columbus, the NHL knows about it. I wrote 2 letters to Gary Bettman. Anytime I talk to people, I said, Gary, I want to help you. I want to help the NHL. But at this time, you are advertising Russian crimes, and you should pay for it. So I believe for 3 years, NHL should pay at least $6 billion to Ukraine. What NHL done, it's a terrible thing, and they are responsible for many lost Ukrainian lives. And you have to pay for it, Gary Bettman.
And you're right, this night it's okay if they tell about Holodomor, about Second World War and Russian troops' actions, this war.
I wrote it on my Twitter account. I say, don't forget on TV, on the Jumbotron, remind what Russia do to Ukraine, the Holodomor in the 30s, when millions of Ukrainians die. Don't forget what they done to the Czech Republic in 1968. We had Russian army in the Czech Republic from 1968 to 1989, and they killed about, not as Ukraine, we talk about hundreds of people. We don't talk about thousands, but at least hundreds of people who they just killed in the Czech Republic. It wasn't army people, it wasn't the war. They just came and they killed us. And I just hope for this Russian night in Columbus, they talk about the Holodomor. They've talked about not only the Czech Republic, they done it in 1957, they done the same thing in Hungary. They done it in 1968 in the Czech Republic, and now what they done in Ukraine. And it's terrible. I don't understand how they can promote Russia heritage at the time of the war, when the Russian every day killing the people of the free country of Ukraine. It's a terrible thing.
NHL and maybe Russian players or players in NHL, they react on your replics about this?
No. It's important to understand. I do not blame Russian players. Russian players are the Russian citizens. Maybe somebody support war, maybe doesn't somebody support war. We don't know. Of course, I don't like Ovechkin, what he's done on the Instagram. You know, he supports Putin. We know it. We know it. If you don't support Putin, he shouldn't be on his Facebook or Instagram page. But there are things we cannot do about Russian. You know, we cannot do anything.
You write in Twitter about Ovechkin. You said that he's scary because he supports Putin, but don't understand nothing in politics.
I said it in the beginning of the war. I said something about Alex Ovechkin, but I do not want focus on Alex Ovechkin. I do not focus on any Russian athlete. And I don't agree with Alex Ovechkin, no, because I know he's the Putin supporter, but we can nothing do about it. And I will criticize our country also. We were so close about 1 year ago to not let any Russian player come to our country and let them compete, you know, under these rules. And it didn't happen. I was disappointed. I was there. I was trying to sign the new rule. We didn't do it for certain reasons. And so when we're talking about the sport, it's not only about the federation, it's about every state. But there is something you have to understand. Dominik Hasek can talk publicly around the world and say what is right and what is wrong. But, and I'm a powerful person.
Yeah.
Okay, but it has to come from Ukrainian side. No. You have to come with a plan. You have to come with the rules. And then your Minister of Sport, he can go around the world. And I'll go with him. I will support him. And explain to the people, stop advertisement for the Russian war. Stop advertisement for the Russian crime. But it has to be you, Ukraine. No USA do it for you. No Germany, no France, no the Czech Republic, not even Dominik Hasek. Nobody will do it. You have to bring it. You have to explain it, why people are dying in Ukraine. And many people in Ukraine die, and because of this sport, because of this federation, many people die. I'm not talking about the 10, 100, but I'm talking about thousands of people. And all these federations, they have to pay Ukraine a huge amount of money. And again, I repeat it, it's not about $1 million, it's about $1 billion. Because life, you know, it's hard to say how much it costs. The life is that you cannot pay any money for their lost lives. I'll be honest, I'm sorry to say, you have 1,000 days, more than 1,000 days since the war started, and you didn't come up with any program. You didn't say the word, we need to do this and this and this. We do it, we stop advertising of Russian war. Unfortunately, after 1,000 days, Ukraine people, Ukraine government or Minister of Sport didn't come up with this program. So you have a responsibility. You have responsibility for not doing it. I'll be helpful, but I cannot do it. It has to be your country.
Why you can tell about this support us and maybe Wayne Gretzky don't support Ukraine as you?
Everybody is different, you know. And
maybe it's money or scary. What do you think? He have a contract with NHL.
Every person has different ideas. Every person has how to say, different opinion, and of course, many of the guys are scary. The people in the Czech Republic are scary, because we've been living in the Czech Republic from 1968 to 1989, and we know what Russian can do. Let's be honest, there is KGB. You never know what happened the next day. So yes, people are scary, but I believe players like Wayne Gretzky or some great of my teammates, you know, I wish to invite them, but, you know, I do not want to force anyone. It's everyone's decision. I believe it's for the players who still play hockey or for the all athletes, it's a little bit more difficult. But especially for the players who retired, like me, they should start to speak up and not to be quiet. I don't know if Wayne has contract with someone, maybe he has with the NHL, maybe with someone else. But this is his decision, but I wish my former teammates to start to speak up, because they can save many lives. They can save many lives, and what I do, it's about life. And I'll be honest, it's not only about lives of Ukrainian citizens. There are also Russian citizens who are dying. But of course, for me, you are my ally. So Ukrainian people are...
We are defending.
That's exactly what I want to say. You're defending. So Ukrainian lives are on the first page.
You won 2 times Stanley Cup, yeah?
Yes, I won with Detroit. I never won, unfortunately, with my... Unfortunately, with the Sabres, when I spent 9 years, we were so close, but we lost at home in the Game 6 against Dallas. So it was very disappointing, because I love Buffalo City, I love Buffalo organization, I like the building in Buffalo, you know. So I was traded to Detroit. I spent 4 years in Detroit, and we won twice. I played there with the best players in the world, like Brett Hull, Stevie Yzerman, Nick Lidstrom, Sergei Fedorov, Brendan Shanahan, Chris Chelios, I know Pavel Datsuk, Luke Robitaille. I'm sure I missed some of them, but they were greatest players. All of them, they are in Hockey Hall of Fame. And
but what do you feel?
It's no, to win the cup, it was my first Stanley Cup in 2002. It was something I will never ever forget. And then we won one more time in 2008. And these are the things, you know, you will always remember, you know. Olympics, 1998. But you know what, on the end of the day, it's about your people you are around, about your teammates. And I will always remember my teammates who were helping me to win these trophies, you know. In Czech, like Jaromír Jágr, Robert Reichel, Richard Schmelik, Hammerlich, and some other great players, you know. Maybe they are not all of them the famous world stars, but they were great teammates. And of course, players from Buffalo, and then players from Detroit Red Wings. And I will never forget a Pardubice, where I was born, where I was raised, and where I started to play hockey.
Very important question for me. You are a legend of Czech Republic hockey, on the world hockey. Your, I don't know, friend, Petr Cech.
Yes.
He's a legend of football.
Yes.
Goalkeeper. And now he is playing in hockey. What do you think about it? How he is looking in the hockey? Your opinion, professional.
Petr Cech is about 10, 15 years younger. I don't know. I found out that Dominik Hasek, which means me, I was his hero when he was a little kid. Yeah, and he was thinking about playing hockey, but he ended up as a goalie, and I think he made a great decision to be the soccer goalie. You know, he's taller than me, he has longer hands, so I think he was one of the greatest goalkeepers of all the time, I believe so. You know, what he's done for, especially for the Chelsea, he was unbelievable. And for the, of course, for the Czech national team also. So, yeah, we know each other, we've talked at least, but now he's living now in England. So, and he's playing hockey. I know he's, you know, let's say you cannot become the greatest goalkeeper in hockey when you start to play hockey at the age of 36 or 38 like him. So but it's something.
But not bad.
He's not bad at all. You know, I've seen him on YouTube sometimes, and I said, you know, I am glad you didn't play at my time. No. He's very talented. Definitely, he's very talented. His reaction is great. He's big. He knows how to move. But you know what? I am glad I was the hockey goalie, and I think he's glad that in his prime time he was the soccer goalie. At his prime time, I believe he was top 3 goalkeepers in the world, like Gianluigi Buffon, him, and maybe someone else.
It's about your brother, yeah?
Yes.
My father played in Dynamo Kyiv against Sparta Prague in 1998, and your brother played in Sparta.
Yes.
In this game.
I still remember it. 1998. It was summer 1998.
The second game, yeah.
Second game in Prague. It was beautiful weather. I was at the Sparta Prague Stadium, and Dynamo Kyiv, they scored the 91st minute of the game. They scored the goal. They tied the game. No, they win. I think they lost in Kiev. They won 1-0 in Prague. It was overtime, and on the penalty shots, the team Dynamo Kyiv they won and they moved on. It was so disappointing for me because I was cheering for my brother. He was a great soccer player. He played many games in the Champions League. He played in Barcelona, against Real Madrid, Arsenal, I think, Dynamo Kyiv. No, he had a great career, you know. He played about 15, I think, games for the Czech national team. I was my brother fan. Anytime I had chance, you know, to see him, it was fun for me, you know. So this game, when your father scored, I still will remember for long, maybe for the rest of my life. Maybe not me, my brother will remember it. Good friend, he was then starting goalie. I know Kharlamov, Vasiliev. I think this is Petrov. I think it's Petrov.
You were in Kyiv, Bucha, Irpin, Kyiv region, Kharkiv, Vinica, now in Odessa. What did you remember the most?
Já byl v mnohých gradách. Já byl v Kyjevě, já byl v Vinici, teďka v Odesse, Lvivě, i já byl takže v Charkivě. No v Charkivě tam já viděl, tam очень těželo. Blízko fronta, tam life is very difficult for the people in Kharkiv. And I believe it's difficult for every Ukrainian. And unfortunately, many people are in the army and many people are dying who die or get injured in this war. So for me, it's hard to imagine how the Ukrainian people feel. Like, nobody can understand, nobody, neither me. You have to be here, you have to live here on every day, and then people much better understand. So I don't want to be the one who say, like, I know how you feel, because I cannot say that. Only you know how you feel if your brother or your relatives are dying, if your relatives are losing the houses because they have to move from the east to west.
In a previous interview, you said that you were very impressed when you saw the number of flags dedicated to our fallen heroes on Maidan Nezalezhnosti.
Not this time, but first time I was in Kyiv, and second time we went. The people took me to Maidan, to the big plaza where everything started. I think 2014, and there is the field, like not big one. No, it's a big one, but it's not.
Yeah, it's
and you can see all Ukrainian flags over there. For me, it was very emotional. You know, you go there, you see some other Ukrainian people who go around and then they pray, and fathers who lost their sons. So for me, it was very emotional, and like I say, I'm happy, I'm glad that nothing like that happened to me, to my family. What is going on in Ukraine, it's a terrible thing. We have to be thankful to all the Ukrainians what they do for their freedom, but also for our freedom. So I am thankful that I am Czech and we have no war.
Do you agree that see war from a TV screen, a phone, like many people in the world, and when you came and saw it with your own eyes are different things? And many politicians from the United States and other countries who don't want to give weapons should come and see what war is like and then make a decision.
You know, there's lots of talking around the world about this, about Russian aggressive war in Ukraine. And there are politicians who coming to Ukraine. You know, Scholz was here, our Prime Minister was here recently, and our ministers from the Czech Republic.
Приехали в один день с Шольцем.
Я приехал в день, когда Scholz was here. Да.
Разом ехали?
Он приехал, я думаю, 2 часа after me. Не на одном поезде, он приехал, я был здесь первый, он был 2 часа.
Вы ему написали, что Олаф, все окей, можешь приезжать.
Yeah. No, I think it's important. It's very important that politicians coming to Kyiv, but I wish some of them to go more east. But I know there are politicians. Na front. Já tam nebyl. Já byl toľko v Charkive, já viděl Buču, já viděl Irpin, já viděl Borodjanka, já viděl, jak tam it's terrible. It's scary. It's very scary. Yeah. But I think politicians are politicians, you know, they talking, and sometimes they say too much, but what they do is not exactly the same. That's why we criticize politicians. Many politicians, they say how they will support, how much money they give, they say on TV, but it's not always the reality, and this is very sad. So I want them to do much more. So it's good that they are coming to Kyiv, but in Kyiv, I wish sometimes they see more what is going on the front line, on the line. Unfortunately, it's a long fight and it's not easy.
What can you say about this game, your final resume?
It was a great game today. I'll be honest, I was surprised. It was exciting. It was exciting to the very end. You know, Kyiv won today. It was 4-3. The Odessa team was so close to win, and it didn't happen today. But Anyway, I would like to thank to Oleg Kropevnitsky for invitation me here in Odessa. For me, it's the first time to be here and to see the city, to see the stadium, to see the fans and the players. For me, it was very important, and I wish him good luck. I wish him good luck with the team. You know, it's a great thing that he brought the team to Odessa, and I believe the fans and the people of Odessa will appreciate. Hockey is the best sport in the world, and I want to congratulate all the people who take care of the hockey. And I'll be back. I don't know when. It probably won't be this year, but maybe next year. I wish to come again and see the hockey game and see this team, this Odessa team, to win.
Can you tell some advices for young hockey players who want to become a legend?
The question if it's for the goalkeeper or for any hockey player.
Any hockey
player. I think most important is to love what you're doing. You know, you have to love to come to the locker room. You have to love to go for practice and be with your teammates. It's most important. It's most important for anyone who is doing sport, anyone who is doing hockey. You have to love to be part of the team and to enjoy the win. You know, it's most important. To enjoy every day of your life, every day that you can play hockey. So it's most important. As a goalie, I think you have to be special. You have to love your job. You must love responsibility being a goalie, and I loved it. I loved it. I loved that 20 of my teammates believe me that I'll be the one who saves the game. 15,000 people at the ring, at the Detroit Arena, what was the name? Joe Louis Arena, or used to be HSBC, I don't know, in Buffalo Arena, 18,000 people, and everybody believed that Dominik Hasek will save the game for the Sabres, and I loved it. It helped me to be the better goalie, and this is something as a goalie there is huge pressure, but if you enjoy it, you can become great goalie. So my advice for the young goalies is enjoy what you're doing. You must love your job to being the goalie, to be someone who the whole team and the whole organization depends on. If you love it and you love to be the goalie, you can become the great goalie.
We speak about, you can tell some advices how we can make our hockey more popular for supporters, many marketing advices.
No,
you played in the best leagues in the world. You saw how they do the best.
I am not marketing guy. You must make hockey more show for the people. Of course, you have some product on the ice, but there are certain things you can still improve so people enjoy to go for the game and they have fun during intermission. You know, they listen to the music. You make some games for them, and something is different for the people, like, let's say, not the youngest people like me, and there is something you need to bring for the 8 years old or college boys or girls, or for middle school, high school, and I recommend. I send the guy to the Czech Republic, the PR or marketing guy for 2-3 weeks. He can learn something. Maybe in the NHL also, you know, NHL is different. It's a huge places, you know. But for me, guys, for you, most important is you must build the rings. You must build a few more rings so children, they can go on the ice and they can start practice and learn how to play hockey. You know, with 8-9 rings right now, I think you have no more than 10 rings in your great country of Ukraine. You need to build rings, and I know it's so difficult during the wartime. It's so difficult. I'm thankful, guys, to all the sponsors, all the people who support the hockey. You still have 6 teams who can play professional hockey.
Last question.